recognize if Milk just joined the Coven.
Hello everyone. All right.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Hi.
god, it's happening. We're doing it.
Oh my gosh.
Hello everyone and welcome to our I know that we had an initial first episode. This is our official first episode.
This is a legit episode.
This
First one was kind of just a little intro, but
listen, we tried with the last one and there's no VOD to even say that we did it. So we're doing it now.
oh,
We're doing it now. It's fine. Everything's fine.
everything's fine, guys.
Totally fine. But yeah, thank you guys for coming in. My name is Tara.
And I'm Brooke.
And happy
And guys-
Pride.
It's Pride Month.
It's Pride Month. Listen, we're June 18th. We're a little bit into Pride Month, but it's Pride Month.
Hey, it's all month. It's all month.
It's all
It's fine.
month. We're doing it. Thank you guys so much for understanding the switch. We promise we still want to keep the Monday at 9 o'clock time for the future episodes, but you guys know life happens and sometimes we have to move things around, but we really wanted to make sure to have an episode this week, not just because we enjoy hanging out with you guys, but we want to make sure, especially for Pride Month, to talk about things coming up and talk about certain things that we have had anniversaries for that we wanted to talk about, as well as just make it a weekly thing. We really want to try keeping this something that works. We want to keep this going. So thank you guys for being so understanding.
It's greatly appreciated, guys.
We're human. Things happen. It's fine. We work through it.
Life be getting in the way.
Life happens. And above all, we love doing what we do. I love hanging out with my boo here. I love hanging out with you guys, but real life come first. So, including for you guys, if you guys are not able to come in and hang out with us for a week, you're not going to break our hearts. We understand. Well, maybe we'll be a little brokenhearted, but we understand. Things happen, and hopefully we have an actual VOD this time. So
Fingers crossed, guys, because
Fingers
those
crossed.
technical difficulties are not the vibe.
oh my god, it's been tedious to say the least. But we're here and it's working and everything's fine. So, yeah. I'm here for it. Alrighty.
We think we got everything sorted out, guys. So
We think so. This is officially the first episode, so but yeah. Really quickly, just want to say a shout out to the people that are in here, as well as our first time chatter. If you guys do not know who Recognized Milk is an amazing freaking streamer, an amazing gamer, and has been awesome to get to hang out with in Infinite Leet's channel, as well as a bunch of other people's gaming and stuff, and I've gotten the opportunity to chat and hang out with him and his awesome community. So thanks so much for coming in, Milk. We're so appreciative you're here, and for Outcast and for Peyton being here, and some Throne of Glass person. I don't know who that is.
yeah, I don't know who that could be.
Who knows? Who knows? But thank you guys so much for coming in here and hanging out in our live. It means a lot to us. So, is there anything that you, other than what we had written down, is there anything that you can think of that we wanted to bring up that was not on the list?
As of right now, no. I think we pretty much have covered the basics.
Okay.
Obviously, if I think of anything, I will jump right in.
Sweet. Sounds good.
But
I'm here for it.
I think I will just let you kick us off. Okay, Peyton.
Wow.
A little rude, but I understand.
Rude. So rude.
Listen, we're out here, Peyton. We're out here trying to educate.
We're doing the Lord's
so
work.
You can't just dip out. All right, you gotta stay. You gotta absorb the information.
Yeah. If you're a
You
good
have to give us
ally
your
and
love and
member of this
support.
community, you will stay for this fucking episode. No, I'm just kidding. To be a good ally, you sit for
And and just
Coven
like
of
Tara,
the
I thought we had good people. I really thought.
I thought so too. I don't know.
You know what? It's fine, guys. Me and Tara will just talk to ourselves. It's fine.
It's fine. We'll chit chat. It's me and you, boo. It's me and you. Also, I
Me
didn't
and you
think
against the world.
of course. Yeah. I think everything else that we were going to say though is on the list. So, really quick. I know we're having fun. I know we're laughing it up. We do need to talk about something real quick that is a little more on the serious side. And if you guys didn't notice it in the title, we're going to just really quickly mention it, and this is for people who watch it in the future. We are going to be talking about something that, at least to me, as well as other people that I know, is a triggering subject. Today we are going to be talking about the Pulse Nightclub shooting that happened in 2016. This is not a topic that a lot of people want to hear or want to talk about, and that is totally understandable. Your mental, emotional health comes first. So if for some reason, this is going to be at the end of the episode, we're not talking about it now. We have plenty of other things to talk about. This will be something that we do at the end of this episode, but we will be talking about it. For those who are watching later on, as well as those who are sitting and watching, if you guys see this icon pop up, if you guys are watching the Twitch stream right now, this is going to be a sign we are going to be putting up when we are discussing the topic of this event. If you do not feel comfortable sitting and hearing about this topic, please mute, step away. We are going to have it at the very end of the episode, so when you see this icon come up later on, you're not missing anything else in the episode. This is also for people watching in the future. If you see this icon pop up, that is the end of the podcast, basically. We wanted to do this to be able to allow as many people to come in and enjoy the episode as possible, while also not feeling like they have to stay for something that could be triggering for people. I know that it is emotional for me. I also checked in with Brooke and told her as well, if this is not something that she feels comfortable talking about or hearing, she also can step aside. This is something that I feel is very important because we are passing the anniversary. We just passed it. But it's something that is important too, I think, in this conversation of how to celebrate, educate, and support during Pride Month. So again, if you see this icon and the idea of this topic is concerning, please do what you need to keep yourself safe. This will be at the end of the episode, but just to be aware, this icon will pop up when this conversation occurs. So, wanted to let you guys know.
Give everybody a heads up.
Yes. It's not going to be like this all of the episodes. I'm just putting this out there right now. When there is something triggering, we will put this icon up because people's mental and emotional health is very important to us. So, but we're going to try to not have these type of topics all the time. But at this point in Pride Month, with the anniversary that just passed, as well as our conversation,
it needs talked about.
We need to talk about it. So just so you guys know, I'm going to disappear it now because we're going to step away from that topic at the moment. But just so you guys know, are we good? You all good? Thumbs up.
Everybody's good. Everybody's good.
Cool. So, on the other hand, let's talk about Pride, shall we? Let's talk about it. So, some of us already know Pride. We know how Pride started, but do you really know how Pride started? Why?
Ominous.
I wasn't trying to make it sound like that, but it sounds a little bit. I'm going to be the first one to say I did research, you guys. I watched videos, I read articles, I did deep digging because I love you guys.
Literally, guys, Tara has basically put all the notes for us because there's even some stuff I did not know about.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to be educating me as well as the rest of you.
Let me just put my thinking cap on. Just
we are
teacher cap.
Gonna sit, discuss, listen,
and talk about it. Oh my god, you could really hear my Dr. Pepper there for a second. Sorry.
Guys, this is why we do this, all right? We're gonna have a good time. And yes, you will hear weird things in the background or me and Tara's little side comments. But yeah, we're gonna let Tara jump into this and she's gonna educate us and let's get it going.
Let's go. Perfect. So, not the comments just saying deep. Like, Outcast, my dirty brain.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. Anyway,
say it. It's an 18 and up episode. Say it.
Well, I'm just saying with her comment saying deep, I was gonna say we know you like it that way, but hey.
How deep? We're going real deep. What's going on right now? Anyways, okay. If Milk is in here, welcome in, Milk. This is how our episodes go. Anyways, so the history of Pride. So we're going to just bring it up with saying the history of Pride. Like, if we think about it, it makes sense. The idea of members of the LGBTQ community being out and vibrant in a community has been a thing for the beginning of time. But when did we start noticing communities of LGBTQ members being recognized? Actually happened later than we were expecting. A lot of people think the start of Pride, Stonewall riots, protests, activism, that kind of thing. When in actuality, the first gay rights group was in Berlin in 1897. It was started by a man named Magnus Hirschfeld, and it was Magnus Hirschfeld's organization, and it was considered the first gay rights, the first recognized first gay rights group in the world. And so things were being done when it comes to activism and conversation way earlier than a lot of people realize, especially in this country. But let's talk about kind of what started the history of Pride for us in the USA. First of all, how did this start up? It was illegal since 1845. There was a law that was quote unquote the opposite sex law. Imagine it in quotes right now. This law was started around 1845, and even though people claimed that this was something to just be against members of the LGBT community, it actually was also a racial segregating law. It was the idea that identity had to be for cis white people to walk around in public. And this was in New York City that this was happening. So from 1845 till 1969, this was a thing. Like, that's how long this was going on for. 1969. Think about it for a second.
Insane.
This was something going on since the 1960s. That's not very long that we have had even the start to progression for our community. 1969. And again, it wasn't just for those in the community. It was against people of color and their identifying mannerisms and the way they wanted to identify out in public. And it was a way for police to basically say, we don't like how you are identifying. We don't like how you are showing up in public. You are going to get arrested. So that's what this law was. It's a shitty fucking law. So this was going on from 1845. So from 1845, we move on forward to 1969 during the Stonewall Uprising is what it was called. This was not the first event. This was not the first activism, protest, action, riot that had happened. There were so many that were done before, whether it was a large community of white and people of color, whether it was specific minority groups. There were lots of activism acts that were happening before Stonewall happened. Stonewall just happened to be kind of the main breaking, the straw that broke the camel's back, basically. It was the act that basically was like, we've had enough. This is done. We're so fed up with this. So just to make it aware, it was not the first protest that happened for our community. It was just the trigger to a lot more active reactions and activism that happened in our country afterwards. So let's go over what the Stonewall riot was. So Stonewall Uprising happened June 28th, 1969. It was a police raid at Stonewall, I think it was Stonewall Inn, and it had occurred that started what was quote unquote the Gay Liberation Front. And just remember the name, the Gay Liberation Front. It didn't have lesbian liberation. It didn't have trans liberation. It was just the Gay Liberation Front. Let's just put that out there. So that was the start of that front. Again, not the only one. There were other activism happening, but that was the start to the Gay Liberation Front. The Stonewall Inn at that time, because of the law that was going on with the opposite sex law that was in New York City, there were different restaurants and cafes and clubs that were basically safe havens for the LGBT community. The only way that they were able to keep these spaces is because at that time there was very heavy controlling of businesses through the mafia. The mafia owned the Stonewall Inn, as well as multiple cafes that were in the area. And they were able to pay off police members to look the other way. So that's how they were able to continue having these spaces. Yeah. Along with, they didn't have to clean it up. They didn't have to keep these spaces actually safe. They did not have to have proper payment for their drinks. They watered their drinks down, but it was the only way that our community members could even be around each other and have a good time without being arrested or being attacked by police. That's how bad it was, you guys. They had to find these spaces that were run by toxic members of society to be able to feel safe enough to be out. Yeah, basically. So it was run by the mafia. It was not a very clean space. Here's another thing. It was not the only LGBT safe space in New York City. A lot of people claim it was the only epicenter for the community. It was actually not. And it actually was not even the nicest one. It was a shit show. It was claimed to be very toxic, very gross, very run down, not a good place to hang out, but you were limited to what you could do, and supposedly they were supposed to have protection from the mafia members to do their sleazy stuff inside of the inn where police wouldn't see. Well, 1969, that didn't happen. The police came in to riot and empty the business. So what happened when the police showed up? There's a lot of information that a lot of people throw out there. Like, it was people of color, trans people of color who threw the first brick, who threw the first shot glass, who threw the first rock, and they started the riot. And that it was this big, loud, crazy riot. It actually was not. And this is actually information coming from people who were there the day of the riot. First of all, who started the fight? They do not know. They actually have no idea who started the first action of the fighting. The only people they know, the only person they can speculate was just a general description of a one person who was being manhandled by police officers who started screaming and shouting to other people, and I quote, "What are you doing? Why are you just standing there? Why don't you do something?" And I'm going to say she pronouns because that is the way these individuals are describing them. But in their words, it was a gender non-conforming person who was being messed with by the cops. And it's when the tipping point shifted from just a big old loud rowdy party that the police were facing to an actual fight. So that was something that was very interesting.
Well,
people
dang.
thought it was immediate. It was not. It was one person they still don't know to this day. No one has been able to figure out who this person was, who started getting manhandled by the police and spoke up. Hold on, I'm looking through my notes.
That's crazy.
Right? It's completely different than how even us in the community have heard this story. So, and it gets even crazier, you guys. It gets even crazier. So
What do you mean?
it gets crazier. So there was a rumor, and I'm curious your take on this rumor. There was a rumor that was even shared in RuPaul's Drag Race. They used this as part of their competition. The rumor that the Stonewall riot was triggered because of the sadness involving Judy Garland's death.
Okay.
That is the reason, supposedly, that people were saying that is why the Stonewall riot happened. It wasn't because of people being upset with police hurting their spaces. It was Judy Garland died and we're upset about it.
Listen, we love her, but I don't think that would be the reason.
Yeah, it's
for a full on.
They even shared this reason. I didn't see the full episode, so I can't say this is exactly how it was shared, but this was an aspect in a competition in RuPaul's Drag Race talking about the Stonewall riot. That Judy Garland was the reason that the Stonewall riot happened. Not true. Just putting this out there.
I was gonna say I need to know the facts.
Follow up.
Thanks.
Follow up. It was actually, this statement was written by a right-wing conservative news columnist who wrote one single paper article to make fun of the movement. Basically stating that those in the LGBT community that were a part of this riot were just so over emotional, and that we actually were just too emotional over Judy Garland's death.
Where have we heard that, guys?
I wonder.
Every day of our lives.
It's like things are coming full circle. Shocker. Yeah, so that's what people think. That's false. There was actually a reason, police brutality. That's why Stonewall started up. But now I'm also going to say this wasn't, like, if we think and picture about the protests that are happening in LA and the very intense protests that are happening all over the country right now, it wasn't a huge battle in downtown New York City. A lot of people think there was explosions and like bombs and fire and all of these kind of things. It wasn't that extreme. It was more of a rebellion is what it was explained as, and more of a rowdy reaction to stand up and show up versus stand up and fight. Now, there were things that were thrown. There was the statement by multiple members that were there of Stonewall that said that they did at some point, when police with riot uniforms came, they started throwing rocks. But, and they did say this is something that everyone else has heard too about the story, there was actually no brick to anyone's knowledge that was thrown. Everyone thinks Stonewall riot started because of a brick. There were no bricks. There were rocks close to, like, where, like, if you've ever gone to downtown New York City, there's like the trees with the little pits that have like those rocks by the trees. They said that was where people were getting stones to throw, but people were saying there was a construction site across the street and they got bricks from there and they threw them. To everyone's knowledge, no bricks were actually thrown because they were focusing right to the center of Stonewall and in the street. To everyone's knowledge that was there, no brick was thrown at the police officers. So the statement that a brick was thrown to start the riot is actually not true.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. It's a lie.
It's a lie, guys.
But rocks were
They're
thrown.
to you.
Rocks were thrown, not bricks. Just putting that out there. Now, who started the riot? You guys have probably recognized, if you don't recognize, there are two names that have been shared as big name individuals in the community that started.
Always tied to it.
Always talked about.
Always tied to it.
It's Marsha Johnson and Sylvia Riviera, and they were claimed to be the first people, the first woman to throw things at the police and start the riot. Funny enough, and this is a statement from Marsha herself, Marsha got there an hour later. She didn't even get there at the start of the protest. She got there afterwards.
Okay, well, dang.
Sylvia Riviera stayed at the center of the group and watched other members throwing rocks, but she didn't throw anything. She in joke, which a lot of people think is a tongue-in-cheek statement, she said, "I did not throw the first thing. I threw the second. But it
Okay,
was
girl.
kind of the idea that maybe she threw something, maybe she didn't, but she wasn't actually the one who threw the first quote-unquote shot glass.
Who started it, yeah.
To start. Because supposedly she threw a shot glass or a regular glass, and that started it as well. That is not the case. She did not throw anything glass. That wasn't true. So it brings up also the conversation of the idea of the first brick thrown and these big actions happening by members of this community. And a lot of people say, you guys have probably seen in protest, there is I'm going to mess up the line. There is the line that a lot of people write for protests, that it's because of two trans women of color, that I have found my rights today because of their first throw. So people still use this storyline today to back up the rights for trans women, the rights for people of color, the rights for the LGBT community, out of this act that has now since been stated didn't even actually happen.
Good Lord.
So what does that mean? Outside of kick lines, which people said actually happened, they did kick lines at the police, singing songs to antagonize. That is a true part of the story. But outside of that, and the truths that came out from real people that went into this riot to fight for this riot, like what happened, like what does this mean for the community? And I'm going to we're going to talk about it after we conclude what happened after the riot occurred. So the riot happened. This started multiple activist marches and protests around the country. And on June 28th, 1970, a year after the riot happened, New York City, Los Angeles, and San Francisco started the first ever, I quote, first gay pride parade. And that is how we have parades today. Now, they were not the parades we see today. The parades today are huge, gigantic. If you've never been to a pride parade, go to a pride parade. They're big parties. They're big, exciting parties. Everyone parties, everyone drinks. We're all super colorful. It's a lot of fun. It's a big celebration. That's not how they were before. It was like a big, you know how we have the marches now? That's how they started, was marches and protests. They were kept, for the most part, pretty... The main reason for them was to be peaceful. They weren't always that way, but that's how they were started, was out of marches and protests. And they were used to continue the activism, which we think of now, Marsha and Sylvia being a part of the Stonewall riot, but they actually were huge members of the community that continued the activism after Stonewall. So they were also big members of the communities, especially in New York City, to help support the activism towards these parades. So even though they were not the ones to make the first throws at Stonewall, they could be seen with their legacies continuing the activism for our community. So still huge, amazing women that started a lot of stuff and continued it. Important. Yeah, they're still super vital for our community. They just weren't as active in Stonewall in the ways that we were thinking. So after the activism protests and marches that occurred, they started getting more popular. They started getting more excited. They started getting more like the parties we see today. And that changed, especially in the 1990s. So again, let's think about this for a second. I was born in 1994. I'm 31 years old. Corporations didn't help support financially these gigantic parades until 1990. We have only been celebrating these gigantic parades for 35 years. 35 years, you guys.
Not as long as everyone thinks.
It's not. No, this is recent history. Go back and look at English history and European history. This is like a speck. This is a freckle, a tiny little microscopic speck.
Little dot on the map.
Just tiny. That's how recent all of this stuff is. That's how recent a lot of this progression is. So 1990, corporations started joining into the parades, helping financially to make them bigger, as well as, we know corporations. They tried to advertise their businesses
Money
and make
grab.
multi-million. Yeah, it's the rainbow tax. They're basically rainbow taxing starting from the 1990s. And then it wasn't until, this is another thing, it wasn't until 1999 that Bill Clinton officially proclaimed June as Gay/Lesbian Pride Month. It was just before 2000 that we actually had Pride Month. Just think about that for a second.
Guys, I was born in 1998, if that says anything.
Yeah.
So
We are just barely a little younger or a little older than the entirety of June being Pride Month. Yeah, it's a baby. It is a little baby. Literally at the turn of the century, just started. It's tiny. It is so young and so small. So it shows these fights have been happening since thousands of years before. But us in the US literally just started showing awareness for our community within the turn of the century. Like,
better late than never, right, guys?
Just the turn of the century have we finally been able to get some awareness, some just a little sliver of recognition since 1999 that officially
and we are
happened.
Still fighting.
And we're still fucking fighting. We're still dealing with this bullshit.
And still fighting within the community as well.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh, I have more. I have more.
yeah, get into it, girl.
So, grab your pitchforks. So let's look back at the titles that I stated, right? So we have the opposite sex law, the first gay rights group, we had the Gay Liberation Front, and then we had the lesbian Pride Month. What's missing there? What's missing? What
all
group of
the
people?
other identities, guys. All the other, all the things.
All of the non-conforming genders and transgender communities weren't even fucking recognized. And we still don't recognize them. You can talk to a whole bunch of cis white people in the LGBT community that still to this day fight against the trans community and the non-conforming gender communities. Even still to this day. This is fucking 2025 and we're still fighting about this because they think that trans members of this community shouldn't be in this community. We literally erased an entire support system through all of this fighting earlier on, just left gays and lesbians. So that's a thing. But I want, and I know people are going to say like, oh well, it's an umbrella term. It's an umbrella term. Let me put it to, hold on. So
You're getting serious, guys.
and we're getting, listen, if you guys don't understand already, I'm gender fluid myself. So literally this includes me. This is literally my community that we're talking about. We literally just started getting recognition. So all of you that are a part of the trans community as well, I see you. I see you.
We love you.
Especially the people of color in the trans community.
We love you.
We love you so much and we're so fucking sorry. We're so fucking sorry.
And we are still fighting for your rights.
We're really fucking trying. Some people aren't, but we are trying. We're trying here. We still have a lot to learn, so please educate us. We're here for the education. But Yeah. We're still fighting against the ill treatment of... We're still dealing with the ill treatment by white cis representation in our LGBT community. And to put it into perspective too, so 1999, we finally had a recognition that June was Lesbian Gay Celebration Month, Pride Month. Walking While Trans, which was a law, Walking While Trans was a law that was used to discriminate and target trans individuals, especially people of color. Guess, just guess. When do you think this finally got annulled? Just guess. Just guess for me.
I'm gonna go with it. It's probably recent, guys.
Just guess. Just guess a number. Go for it.
I really... Oh my god.
Just any number.
It's probably in the 2000s, huh?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Higher.
2010.
Close. Do you want me to just
Guys,
tell you?
it was 2021.
2021.
2021.
2021. We finally
years.
annulled a fucking law that was against trans community members for just showing their identities in fucking public. 2021. We have finally had a Pride Month that's finally been notified and recognized in 1999, but it took us 22 years to finally recognize that this bullshit law needed to be annulled. Like, I don't think anyone really understands too, unless you are part of the community. We were dealing with backlash from straight cis members of the community being upset of T being included in LGBT because of the fact that they didn't fit between male and female. And this was something that I heard being fought over in fucking between 2014 to 2016. Like, this is just about 10 years ago. We were still fighting within our community. We were fighting against members of these communities and trying to basically erase and remove them from our safe spaces.
And guess what, guys? We're still fighting within the community.
We're still doing
it. It's not just... And it makes no sense. Because it is literally LGBTQ+, guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there is still so much hate, especially towards even... Yes, the trans community, but also the bisexual community.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of hate that I see and I've witnessed, and the amount of hate I've gotten for even dating a bisexual. Oh my god. I can't,
Preach.
guys. I can't. Like,
Yeah.
why?
Mhm.
Why are we hating on our own community?
Yeah. A community that's supposed to
We
be
should be-
safe and secure and supporting and welcoming? Nah.
We're
Nah,
supposed to
bitch.
be sticking together and helping fight these battles with each other. Like, why are we against each other when we already have, like, the rest of the world against us? Like, it makes no sense.
Like, the only way that we can truly be able to fight larger powers that are trying to discriminate and hate against our community is to work together. And how the fuck are we supposed to do that when we're hating and judging, not just based on gender and sexuality, but on ethnicity, on mental health, on just anything that makes someone quote unquote normal in this country. And if you are not cis white, we still have fights about it within a community that's supposed to be safe and welcoming to everyone who is not a cis hetero white person. Like, it's still happening, and it's bullshit. And so why are we talking about this? Why are me and Brooke ranting about this? I know that it's been a big rant, but why are we ranting about this? It's because if we don't talk about this history to people, and we don't talk about what happened in our history, as well as how young our history is and how much we have been fighting for so long, but finally just getting recognized in such a short period of time, we need to still have these conversations to see progression to continue. And I don't know about you guys, there's a lot of crap that's going on right now, especially in the US, that is really trying to push this progression, the little bit of progression that we finally have, and trying to push that backwards when we have already been fighting this for so fucking long. And we're still having to fight for it. We're trying to fight for it again because it's trying to be attacked again. So I'm really quickly going to say these because we were talking about how Stonewall had a lot of misconceptions about its story. We talked about how young this history is. And I want to share a couple of quotes that were from the video that I watched about Stonewall and about this information. And it kind of has two sides of the story, which, you know, I completely agree with both sides. And I just want your inputs on them. So there are 4 quotes that I'm going to talk about. The first quote is by Robert Bryan, who was a participant at Stonewall. He said, "If people start telling stories not as they were, but as they would like them to be, that procedure can be used by anybody for any purpose. We need to be consistent in the truth." So that was one take on it, which understandable.
Valid.
We'll talk about it. We'll discuss all 4 of them afterwards. The second one was, "If we are demanding that our history," this was by a historian named David Carter, "if we are demanding that our history be respected, then we have to respect it ourselves." That's the second one. And then these ones kind of are on a different view of it, but still just as valid of takes. This quote is by a writer named Chrysanthemum Tran. They said, "LGBT histories," I'm going to say they because I do not know their pronouns. "LGBT histories are very messy. I think naming that doesn't take away from the importance of what happened." And the fourth, again, not sure of pronouns, is an artist, writer, and filmmaker by the name of Tourmaline.
Just joined the Coven.
And I love this fucking quote so much. This is about Stonewall Riot, but I think that it is so relatable to our fight today for our community. It is, "If it wasn't a brick, it was a rock. If it wasn't a rock, it was a purse. If it wasn't a purse, it was a shoe. If it wasn't a shoe, it was a glass. If it wasn't a glass, it was a dirty look. It was all of those things. It wasn't just that day. It was the days before, and it was many years later." I fucking love that quote so much because
that's a really good one.
I'm going to keep it forever. It kind of is a good blend of the 3 quotes before it. We should be telling the true story of what happens in our community, our true history about what happens. But we should also not be ripping each other apart for takes and the way that these stories and these parts of histories have connected to us by claiming they weren't true, they weren't factual, they weren't correct, they weren't accurate. These acts happened. These moments in histories happened. We should constantly be trying to do research and look into these histories and know the true facts, be able to talk to the people that were a part of these acts that happened because they helped write a lot of what's happening to us now in the present day. But it isn't just about the tiny little details. Who gives a flying fuck who threw a glass or a brick or a rock first? The fact is,
it doesn't matter who started it, guys. The fact is it got started.
Exactly. it happened. A community of people who needed a safe space, who wanted a safe space, who were getting constantly attacked and treated so poorly they had to go to a freaking mafia run club just to be safe, finally said, fuck, that's enough. We're so fucking tired of this. We're done. And they were able to then start paving the way for these events and these acts of activism to move us into a means of progression to be able to support our communities. Does this mean that we are done? That everything is sunflowers and roses and rainbows? No,
Hell
the fuck it
no.
doesn't. No, the
Hell
fuck it does
no,
not.
guys.
We have so much to do. We have so much to do right now. And it's not just for members of the community. It's for people that are willing and brave enough to be true allies to the members of this community. It's all of us have to work together to be able to show progression and recognition of this community that has so long been kicked down and shoved in the dirt for so fucking long. And we can't just stop here and say, oh, you know, freedom to marry. We're done. That's it. We're good now. No. Because there are other members of our community that are still fighting against basic human rights. So, but that's the end of my presentation.
We love a history, guys. We love a history.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a little bit of a rant and ramble, but
I feel educated.
You feel educated? Well, good. I ranted a lot. Brooke, what are some of your takeaways? And then in the comments, if you guys have takeaways from this rambling, and if you guys also too want to know this information, I will send links and put links in our Discord. So if you guys want to watch the video, you can, as well as the other articles that I wrote. We'll put them in the Discord. But thoughts, feelings, go for it.
Listen, just what you said though, like, this is just a tiny little foothold. Like, there is still so much more that needs to change and be accomplished, and like, for just all the other identities and whatever else in our community. Like, it's not just gays and lesbians. It's not. Like, okay, for y'all that don't know, I live in Kansas, okay? And let me tell you, it's not the not the most loud and proud place.
I'm shocked.
I know, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. But where I live, in my little city or whatever, we have finally, like, our mayor here finally just signed a proclamation stating this month, for Pride Month, in my town. It was literally signed, I don't know, like on the 10th or something, like literally just this month. If that says anything about the amount of progress and stuff that is still trying to be made by people in our community. Like, it's, I don't know, it's insane. Like, I don't know why the question is, guys, is why is it taking so long for us to have basic human rights?
And it's not just in our community,
but who I date and what people do in the privacy of their own lives is not everyone's business. Why does it matter?
And let me put something out there really quick, because I know that there's going to be some people that say, like, oh, well, you can keep it in the privacy of your own home and we don't have to see it and you don't have to shove it down. Listen here. Literally, as children, as tiny infants, we are shown heterosexual cisgender relationships in Disney in TV shows, in books, in our schools, in everything. When you are talking about a family, you are shown, usually, most of the time, a straight. Heterosexual, hetero white family as the quote-unquote perfect couple. You see
perfect family.
Yeah.
The perfect.
You see people kissing out in public that are cis heterosexual couples out there on the streets kissing and holding hands.
But God forbid I hold my partner's hand, guys.
Heaven forbid.
God forbid.
Ooh.
I kiss whoever I'm with.
Yeah.
When I'm literally doing what you've been doing in front of me my entire life.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't know this about Boo, but I'm just going to say, and I think this is the same thing for both of us. I grew up with cis hetero parents, and I'm still fucking gay.
Yep. Guess what, guys? I have a mom and dad, and they are fucking amazing. And I still turned out gay as shit.
We still turned out gay. So what the fuck is supposed to happen when you have a gay relationship with a kid? Are they just naturally going to be great? No. Are they naturally going to be gay? Absolutely not. Because there are plenty of gay people that come from hetero families. So it's just,
guys, where do you think we came from? Literally, where did we come from?
For the most part, like, it's a very common occurrence. The hypocrisy is just crazy. So when Brooke was saying about the idea of, like, we should be allowed the basic rights and the privacy of our home, we should also be allowed the fucking rights to be able to show basic PDA out in public to show that we're with our partner. Not just in the privacy of our own home.
I can see straight hetero couples doing full-on makeout sessions in a fucking bar.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, God forbid I like have my hand on my partner. Like,
heaven forbid. Like, it's crazy.
Like,
oh my God.
Like, what is this? And like I said, guys, I'm in Kansas, okay? And literally my town just signed a little proclamation stating that this month is Pride Month for us. Not just that. Literally 5 days ago, guys, transgender people in Kansas finally won a court ruling to change the gender on their IDs.
So frustrating. I fucking can't.
This is what I mean. We have a tiny foothold.
Mm-hmm.
And in my state alone, we are barely getting that progress.
Yep.
Like, it's the most ridiculous thing, guys. It's basic human rights.
And we're still fighting over stuff that was okay before, but is now not. So, like, I know that we're trying not to be on the political side, but you can't help it right now. The idea that trans members of our community can't fight in the military anymore. We were able to fight
if you want to serve
before.
If you want to serve and you want to fight for our freedoms, why would I prevent you when that is something you want to do? You want to come and protect our rights. You want to, do all this. Why would I prevent you from wanting to do something like that?
And this is what I'm talking about, us moving backwards right now. This was something that was okay and wasn't illegal until just this year. We're moving backwards in what was supposed to be progressed in our short little political history that we have of the recognition we finally are getting, and we're moving backwards. It wasn't a problem before, guys, and now it is now.
It's literally the whole 1 step forward, 1,000 steps back.
Yep. And this is why we can't stop talking about this stuff. We can't just pretend it's not happening and then shove it under the rug saying, oh, well, it's political and we don't want to talk about politics. These are fucking human rights that are getting taken away that people for centuries, before the Stonewall riots, before any of these liberation groups, were fighting for And we're just pretending they don't exist. We're literally getting erased from history because people won't fucking talk about it. And we need to be talking about it. We need to be talking about ways that we can be supporting this community while we're fighting for our basic human rights that every single day are very closely nearly getting removed and erased like they weren't even there.
They're basically, guys, they're basically one signature away from being gone. Like, that's what it's coming to.
Yep.
And what's crazy is a lot of the people who are making these laws and making these decisions, guess what? They are straight, hetero, white people.
Mostly men.
God
We're just gonna put that out there. It's mostly men.
It's men, guys.
It's mostly men. It's predominantly men.
But yeah, me and Tara, this is obviously a topic for us that is extremely close to home. Literally. And I'm sure you guys have noticed the change in our tone of voice. Like, we are passionate about it because we're frustrated. It is like the most ridiculous freaking thing in the world. And later episodes, most likely, yeah, we will be talking about same-sex marriage and things like that because even
we're talking about politics and rights and progression next week.
Exactly. So literally, next episode, guys, is going to be getting into more of this. And just some of the things that are finally passed. And just, it's going to be a whole thing. And we're going to be passionate about it. And if you don't want to hear it, that's totally fine. Y'all can dip out. We're not going to make you stay. But it is something that needs discussed. Which is why we went over the little history bits. This is why we're having these discussions. And yes, this episode is celebrate, educate, and support. But we have spent the majority on educate because that is a huge part of dealing with what is going on in our community. And understanding why things are the way they are, or
how they came
to be. Why a certain person... Yeah. Like, why a certain person can be so angry over, like, something that you may think is just so minimal.
And our statements are coming from two cis-passing white people. Like, we know that we also are speaking in a place of very high privilege in comparison to a lot of our community that don't have these privileges, which is why bringing community members that can share their stories, because we can only share our stories and what's impacting us. And we have community members, and those are just as valid. I'm just going to put it out there. Our trials and tribulations are valid too. But there are also, we're not even skimming the surface of what other members of our community have to go through, because they don't have the same white privilege and cis privilege that we do. Which is why we're going to have other members of our community talking and sharing about their stories, which is probably going to be just as passionate and just as emotional, because other people are going through their own stuff.
For sure, guys. We will be bringing in a couple of people from our little community that we have, and we'll have questions, we'll have conversations, possible coming out stories or things that they've gone through in their lives for being, you know, who and what they are, you know. So it's not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen this month because there's a lot for me and Tara to discuss this month, but it is definitely going to be happening down the road.
And this isn't
just something that we are very determined to do. And
this isn't just 1 month for us. Like, this is literally our
life.
This is part of our identities. And it's not the only part of our identities. We are so much more than just our gender and our sexuality. But it is a big part of our identity that other people have issues with. And other people try to make us feel inferior for. So we are going to talk about it very passionately, and not just during Pride Month. We're talking about it throughout the year. Because we don't just become straight, cis, people when July 1st comes up. Unless Brooke is something different and she has something else going on. But I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
I think her love for GL episodes still continues after July 1st.
we are not gonna get into my Thai GLs right now, girl. We're not gonna do this right now because that is a whole other episode coming soon.
It's happening in the future. But yeah, it's going to be a passionate topic. It's something we're going to talk about.
It's important.
Yeah.
So history is done with, guys.
History is done.
We've edumacated.
You've been edumacated. We've dropped the mic.
Like Tara said, she will post links in the Discord if you guys want to check out articles, videos, whatever she has deep dived into.
And please let us know. In
case you want to do your own research.
And let us know too if there's other things too. Like I think Brooke also agrees, but I'm not going to speak for her. I love having people who are wanting to educate, who let us know about aspects of our community we may not know. Let us know about the diversity, educate us the stuff about the diversity within our community that we may not know. We want to know these things. So send us stuff. We're going to deep dive into them because citing our sources and making sure they are true is very important to me. But we want to know. We want to be educated. We are not the peak historians of these topics. We want to know more. So even though I'm going to post the stuff that I am, please feel free to share with us news articles, information, ways that we can also support other members of our community. We want to know more so we can also do the best we can to support as well as share this community out for other people. So just let you guys know that. But that was the education side of things. Let's talk about
moving on to the lighter side, guys.
Lighter things. It's happening. We're going to talk about ways to celebrate and support LGBT Pride Month and any other, because there are also there's also days of awareness throughout the year. So definitely go and check those out. Like search up LGBT support, trans awareness days that are throughout the rest of the year, because they are out there and they are still going to be out there, and hopefully we do episodes lining up with those days, but they're still throughout the year. But for the month of June, let's talk about ways that we can celebrate and support. So first of all, public pride events and activities. This is the fun stuff. This is the stuff that we get to enjoy,
that you will see on vlogs, YouTube videos, documentaries.
They're happening everywhere.
RuPaul's Drag Race, for instance. You know, like
they're happening everywhere. It's happening all the time.
Fun things.
Yep. And we might say disclaimers for some things, because there are some things that I notice at these events where I'm just like, let's check ourselves here.
It depends on the event, guys. Definitely, when you are looking into events and things to go to, whether it be going to a drag performance or a parade or anything, please read the fine print, because some of these are definitely going to be for the like 18 and up crowd, and then others are going to be more family friendly. So
we're gonna talk about them in these topics.
Do your research.
Yep. So first one, which almost everyone hears about, everyone sees on TikTok, everyone sees advertised, pride parades. They can be as gigantic as the one that happens in San Francisco. And let me tell you, the one in San Francisco literally takes up the entirety of San Francisco. It takes up the entire thing. New York is the same way. New York City has a gigantic pride parade. Pride parades are so fucking fun to go to. Only problem is, and this is coming from someone who sometimes does not have enough spoons to be in really high active public places, they can be gigantic, but they also can have smaller ones. A lot of towns and a lot of smaller areas will have smaller pride events and pride parades that are supposed to be more family friendly, as well as just allows for towns to be able to celebrate pride outside of the big city. So like, for instance, I grew up in California. We had San Francisco as the big pride parade, and people would travel all over the United States, the world, to go to this pride parade. However, other local cities and towns have their own pride parades, and many times those are smaller, a little more closer together. They're a little more family friendly, and sometimes those make for the best pride parades to go to if you've never gone to a pride parade before and you're not the best with crowds and high activity. Look for smaller pride parades. They're not going to always be on the 28th. The big cities are the only ones that usually try to do that last weekend. But like, look through the entirety of June, and there are small parades in different cities and towns, probably close to where you are if you're not near one of the big cities, that have pride parades. And they're a lot of fun to go to. But I'm also going to say, along with going to these pride parades, please be respectful of the space and why we have pride parades to begin with. Again, from the history, they started as riots and they started as protests. Don't go there, especially if you are a cis, hetero, white person. Don't go to these parades just to get drunk and take your clothes off and kiss your best friend. Don't fucking do that. And you would be surprised.
And we're saying this, guys, because we've witnessed it.
This happens all the fucking time. Especially at the bigger pride events.
It's a huge attention grab. Like, hey, look at me. And it's like, this is not about you. I'm sorry, but it's not.
I get to take my tits out and kiss my girl best friend. Oh my god, it's great. Listen, you need to also discuss your undercover bisexuality there and talk to a therapist. But also, it's not about you. This is not supposed to be just a big old party for you to get drunk and be like, yay! Sexuality, like, no. Also, along with that, which happens, again, a lot of time, be respectful of the fact that there are minors and kids and families, and also people who do not consent to seeing your private parts. Don't fucking go to pride events and have sex in the middle of public or not wear clothes. It happens all the time at bike prides.
Right, and it's not just minors and children and things like that, guys. Sometimes you will also see animals running around. Service dogs, whatever. Like, be respectful, watch your surroundings.
Also,
don't push your luck.
Adults don't want to sometimes see that either. I don't want to see your junk in my face. I'm sorry. I'm a very sexual person. I don't want to see your naked junk swinging in the breeze as you're going to a pride parade. I'm sorry. That's not the place.
But you're right.
The thing is, this happens in San Francisco Pride Parade every single fucking year. Every single year. Be prepared to see open tits and penises just hanging out. It happens so much at San Francisco Pride, and I don't understand.
And guys, this is why we're saying that the big city pride parades are the ones that you really got to watch for.
Be prepared.
Because
be prepared.
They, like, your small town pride parades are sitting at like a 1 or a 2. Your big city pride parades are at like a 10, and
sometimes a 12.
There's gonna be a huge difference. Not just with the crowd size, but the performances. The amount of just absolutely crazy people.
The drugs, the alcohol, the nudity. It changes. It changes a lot.
They can be really great, but yeah, like Tara says, there are some people who literally go just to get wasted.
Yep.
And basically put on a show.
Yep.
And that's not what these are about.
No. Absolutely
it's really not.
Nope. So it's to have fun. Go forth and have fun, but like be understanding to why these parades are happening in the first place, and just be respectful. Be respectful of people. It's easy as that. So
exactly.
Yeah. Pride parades. What Brooke, do you want to go over drag shows?
Listen, guys, I love me a good drag show.
Mhm.
I will not be sitting front row at one because of my
Aw.
anxiety, and sometimes they will pull you up
I
sometimes,
I
and
want
I can't have
I'm fine with junks and
I
tits in my face at drag shows.
I cannot have a drag king or queen pull me in front of an audience because that is too much for me. But listen,
They're
I've gone
amazing.
to yes, drag shows are so fun. They are absolutely amazing. Peyton, if you're still in here, Wichita Pride. I went a couple years in a row and actually got some pictures with some drag queens and drag kings, and it was a great time. Now, and this is obviously a smaller Pride situation, so very family friendly. Not as big of a crowd, lots of space because there was like an indoor half and then the outdoors where the drag performers were performing. Even got to witness a little wedding happening, which was absolutely
Aw,
amazing.
that's amazing.
And I actually have that couple on my Facebook, guys. Like they are just
Aw.
because it was I went to see the drag king and he's the yeah, they're the ones that got married. It was great. Lovely.
Oh my god.
But I've also gone to a bar and watched a drag performance there. Very different atmosphere. You got the alcohol involved. You have more obviously more adults present and no children. So the performances are slightly different, obviously. Um,
Mm-hmm.
at the bar,
Just as
they're a lot
enjoying. But
so good. Ugh, guys, these performers, I can't get over how good they look.
these individuals are like literal gods and goddesses. They're so fucking gorgeous.
Absolutely in love. Let me love you, all right?
Let
But
me
anyway,
love you. Please do
but
so.
if you are going to like a drag performance that is going to be at like a bar or anything, be prepared for the alcohol, be prepared for the adults
Mhm.
and the drag performers possibly pulling
Mhm.
you up on the stage.
Mhm.
It happens. So if that's not your cup of tea, try and sit your ass at the back.
Yeah. Or go
Enjoy
to
the
a
show.
brunch. There's drag brunches around
There are
too.
yes, there are drag brunches depending on where you're located.
And they're delightful. They're so
Those
nice.
those are great, great atmosphere.
Very more relaxed.
Your small town pride events are definitely going to be a lot more family friendly. The outfits are going to be more family friendly.
Yep.
Obviously there's not going to be alcohol involved, but it's just do your research, guys.
Yeah. And they
Chances are in the description they are going to say whether it's going to be, age restricted or whatever. Like you just got to read.
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple.
They even have drag shows for family events. Like, and this is this is a conversation that I wish more people understood. Drag shows, like Brooke was just talking about, there are different types of drag shows, and the performers and the individuals that go to these drag shows, they know what level of audiences and what ages of audiences that they're performing for. So like when people complain about like drag performances for families and kids, they are doing
They
these shows.
cater their set list and their outfits.
Yeah. And like drag
to
performance
make it fit.
and like drag queens that do like reading circles with kids. They're out there supporting
so
kids. They're not doing anything to harm or trigger your child. And they are very respectful of families and are very respectful of kids. And I'm sorry, I would trust a drag king or queen with my kids and my family way more than most people. And they're
100%.
delightful events.
They are some of the best people.
Yeah, they're so nice.
If you guys ever have the privilege of meeting one of these lovely performers.
They're amazing.
If Aaron was in here. Aaron. If they were in here, I do believe they are still doing performances. But, like, just meeting the people behind the personas is just... It's amazing.
Yep.
Like, they are literally some of the best people I've ever met.
Yeah. And supporting not just, like, the big named drag kings and queens out there, but like supporting
Guys,
your smaller
support your
ones.
local, support your local drag king and
Mhm.
queens.
Make sure you tip.
Support the ones just starting out.
Fucking tip. Don't be an asshole. Even if it's just a couple of dollars, bring tips. Support them and their arts, as well as and this is maybe like something like disclaimer on support and respect of drag kings and queens. If you go to a drag performance and you think you know someone, no you don't. Do not dox someone
Facts.
who is performing in a safe space for them to perform. Respect their persona, respect their art, and respect their space and their body autonomy. Please and thank you.
Also, don't touch unless
Don't
they
fucking
allow
touch.
it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I have seen so many horror stories of people just going up and just like grabbing them, for like pictures and things like that. It's like they're still a person, guys.
It's the same thing if you go into a strip club, which I don't know who all has gone to strip clubs. I've gone to a few. Do not touch.
I have gone to 0, but let me know.
Oh, it's me and you. We'll go to one of these. They're great. Great time. Just, it's the idea of being respectful of people's space and being respectful of their art form and being respectful of the persona as well as the identity that they're showing at a show. Just be respectful. Enjoy the show. Sit on your seat. Tip. Cheer. Enjoy the show. That's all. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything else extra. Just enjoy the fucking show.
Exactly.
The end.
The end, guys.
That's it. That's basically it. Next one. Do you have anything else for a drag show? I cut it off very quickly.
No, I'm good. I think we nailed that one.
You got it. Boom. High five through the computer. We did it.
Yay.
Next thing is teen event spaces. And this is for, I know that it's 18 and up here. And many times, even if you're 18, as 18, you can go, and 19, you can go into teen spaces. Just again, look in the disclaimers and see what the disclaimers are for ages. But if you know family members that are younger and that are teens or kids, many times there are teen and minor events that are catered to safe spaces for members of the community who are out, or maybe they're not out, but they want to get to connect with other people in the community in a safe, quiet, private way. There are teen events that are out there to be able to have these spaces be safe for teens and minors, which I love that they're out there. Sometimes you have to look a little more closely and do a little digging, but there usually are minor groups as well as teen groups that are in through school systems or sometimes even churches as well. If it's a good progressive church, many times they have community groups and teen groups and minor groups that are actually a part of these communities that want to actively support these events. So they're out there. You might have to do some digging, but they have some really, really fun ones, you guys. I've seen, like, they have, like, sleepover-esque, like, pizza parties, movie nights. They'll go, like, roller skating. They'll go and have picnics. They will go out and, like, have dinners and like, lunches and stuff. They will hang out and have, like, play spaces and everything. They're really, really nice spaces that are catered towards younger members of our community being able to connect to the community in a safe, secure, and many times private space. And so, yeah, if you know of family members who are part of the community who want to just be in a community, because we've all been teens, we've all been in high school and middle school, and many times we don't feel like we fit in, these activities are starting to become more popular. And it's allowing for people to be able to have a safe space to be able to show their true identities. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. And I love it. I love it so much.
I love that.
Yeah, we need more of them, but they're slowly and surely happening, which is great.
Progress is progress.
Right. We're slowly moving into it.
We're getting there, guys.
Do you want to talk about the next one, or do you want me to talk about? I didn't know if you wanted to talk
I'll
about
be
that one.
honest. I don't really have much to say on a lot of these other things, just because of where I come from in Kansas, guys. I don't have a lot of these extra
What?
events and ways to celebrate.
Yeah.
However, with the last one, if you don't have events, but creating your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with them signing that proclamation that they were talking about, guys, where I'm at, they're actually going to do a little popsicles in the park event.
Oh.
So I know it's real cute.
I love that.
So it's going to be like our first little tiny little pride event. It's only going to be a couple hours, but it's going to be like bringing coolers of water and popsicles and just everybody kind of hanging out at the park and just chilling.
That's amazing.
So
I love that.
I thought it was really cute.
And it's kind of like goes hand in hand with like the picnic idea. Is like that's a start to some ways that you can bring families together that are part of the community. So like picnic events, having a popsicle summer like field day or a park day where everyone just gets to hang out. And especially when you're a family with kids and you're part of the community, or your kids are a part of the community and you're just there as a supportive ally.
Just wanting something simple, like
relaxing family fun. Just
exactly
super fun, relaxing, easygoing, just fun times. And the other ones too, I mean, these are ones that you can come up with and like get to create, even if it's just with a group of like a small group of friends. You can easily start an event, especially if it's an activity that you like. So like a book club, if you enjoy book reading, you can start bringing people together to enjoy an LGBT-based support group club. And it doesn't even have to be like nonfiction LGBT like books, but like there's a lot of members of our community that write amazing fantasy books and fiction. And you can have a group and a club that gets to support these amazing authors and talk about it. You can put together a small group luncheon with friends and community members. One thing that I love that we actually have here, shocking enough, in Alabama, in downtown Mobile, every month we have an art walk. And this past weekend, we had it was a Pride themed art walk. And they had their own little Pride parade in the middle of the art walk. And then they had artists that wanted to support the Pride Parade and the Pride Art Walk. And so they had some amazing artists that were selling their wares on the streets in the evening, just hanging out for Pride. And it was just a beautiful, artsy, fun, getting out of the house, hanging out with people, walking around the little squares that we have in downtown. And we just got to hang out with these awesome artists selling their amazing artwork. It was a lot of fun. But all in all, these are all things that you can create. I actually, when I was talking about like a roller skating event for youth, I actually made a roller skating pride event. I went to a roller skating park that I really loved because it was completely closed off. No one from the outside could see into the roller skating rink. And I was like, wouldn't that be cool and so supportive of people who are maybe not out, to have closed invites to just LGBT groups in the city, go to a pride event that's at a closed off, completely private roller skating space, and get to hang out and roller skate. So I made that happen for 1 year in our town. And it was just me, myself, and I, and the excitement of getting to roller skate with my community. And we made it happen, and it was a huge success, and everyone was really excited to have it. So there's ways that you can create pride events of your own, whether it's just for your small community of friends, Or you can even offer it out to other members of the community who just want to hang out and have fun and celebrate Pride in a safe, supportive space. So it is possible to make your own events, and it's a lot of fun, and you feel real good about yourself later.
We love it.
So
We
that's
love that.
that one.
Yeah, guys, there are plenty of ways, and it to celebrate, and it doesn't have to be something huge.
No.
Which is what's nice about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just do what you're comfortable with.
I completely
guys.
agree. What's happened?
Be an ally, guys.
Go for it. Go for it, Brooke. Do it.
Nah, I'd rather not.
Would you rather not?
I'd rather not. Nah, for real though, guys. Being an ally, because I'm sure eventually we'll have some straight people up in this podcast.
That's the hope. We
But
will know that we made it
it's the
if we
hope.
have
Do you
straight
want-
cis people in this group.
Yes, exactly. And not just all of our gay asses. But anyway, guys, being an ally it's so simple. So simple. If you know anyone that is part of our community,
Oh, that was loud. Sorry.
just being there, being supportive, showing your love, like educating other people, like it's so easy to be an ally. And that's why you'll hear people be like, oh, well, I'm not gay myself, but so and so is, and obviously I love them and I support them, and it's great. I love having allies. They honestly help our community so much.
Yep.
When there are things that we can't do. And I don't know, it's just it's a wonderful thing.
And we even listed ways for you guys. We literally wrote it out. And if there are other ways that you know that can support as an ally, like share that with people and let them know. But we literally wrote it out for you guys. We're literally like, look at us doing the Lord's work and helping you guys one ally at a time. We got you. So first of all, I mean, you guys sitting and learning about LGBT history, learn the history, movies, books, podcasts, TV made by LGBTQ plus members is going to be your best way to be able to support the education and the history of the community. There's something with supporting those in the community that are learning about and sharing the history that just, oh my God, Kat, not the time. My God. But there is something so much more beneficial and so much more educational coming from the community itself. But learn the history. Learn the history about the community, what we've had to fight for. Learn about where and when our laws showed up. I don't know if you guys can hear the bell in the background. It's really loud over here.
I did hear it briefly, yes.
Oh my God. Salazar, this is not the time. My God.
Yeah,
like,
guys,
I'm an ally too.
Just educating yourself. Like, for instance, I may not be trans, I may not be non-binary or bisexual or whatever, but I'm still willing to learn about other members of my own community. Like, I am part of the community, but I can still be an ally to them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's like, it's a very simple thing. Like, even at my workplace, for instance, the pronouns, just asking someone what they prefer to go by. Something so small to you can make a huge difference to them.
Absolutely. And there's something to be said too about asking for pronouns. A lot of people say it's like, oh, well, we've never had to ask pronouns before. Like, this is so silly. Like, a certain older generation shouldn't have to do this. The reason, and I'm going to say this right here, the reason we're asking for people to ask people's pronouns is to make the sharing of someone else's pronouns, especially within the gender fluid, gender non-binary, trans community, not have to feel so isolated and so out there to share
I feel
and
like
post,
they're having to hide.
and well, not just hide, but also it's very much like a very clear spotlight on a community member sharing their pronouns, that they're a part of the community and they're trying to fight to share and tell people about their pronouns. When anyone else can do it and a larger community does it, it doesn't seem so isolating. It doesn't have to be so scary for someone to ask for their pronouns to be respected if everyone is asking and respecting pronouns. And that's why we as members of the community are asking people to be okay with asking and sharing their pronouns, because it doesn't have to be so scary for members who really do need to be clear about their pronouns to share it with other people. So, like, it's not a hard thing to ask. Ask someone their pronouns. If someone is wondering what your pronouns are, don't throw a hissy fit. Just tell them what your fucking pronouns are. It's
not a big deal.
It's not
it
that
really
hard.
isn't.
It's a simple question. Hey, what are your pronouns? These are these. Cool. My pronouns are this and this. It literally takes 10 seconds. 10 fucking seconds.
Facts.
It takes maybe 6 or 7 letters on a profile, on an email. It's not that hard. It's really not. I promise you, it's not that hard. Along with pronoun sharing, hold space for conversation where you listen to members of these communities sharing something with you. Don't hold a grudge. Don't hold a defensive mechanism. Just fucking listen to what members of the community are trying to tell you and ask of you, especially if they're asking you to check yourself, check your privilege, and check your fucking language. It's the same thing with different ethnicities not wanting you to use certain language. We have those terms too. Some people don't like them. And some people will tell you, hey, can you please check your language? Don't throw a hissy fit because someone says, please do not use the Q word. Please don't claim that someone is gay just because they do A, B, C, or D. Don't do that. Some people do it and they don't care. But in the general aspect of things, if someone comes up to you saying, hey, this doesn't make me feel very comfortable, be a respectful human being and listen. Listen to them. It's not that dense. And these are things that you can do in your household. These are things you can do in your workspace. These are things that you can do at school, in your classes, in your friend groups, in your work, in your streaming, in your podcasts, in your social
your everyday
media.
life, guys.
These are things you can add that are not going to take too much time, that are going to be beneficial and supportive and make you a good ally for your LGBT buddies out there. Boom.
And trust me, we do appreciate it.
Yeah, it is very appreciated. And we know who we can be safe around when people at least try to do these things. No one is perfect. Some people are going to miss your pronouns.
There will be slip-ups.
There's going to be slip-ups. There's going to be language that has been learned over time that might slip. Like, things are going to be missed and things are going to be mistaken. We're human. It happens. Just try. Just please try. Please, please, please.
All right, guys.
Yeah. The last
Moving
one.
on from being an amazing ally. Support and donate. Oh my gosh. This is going to be a whole other thing, guys. So we actually will be talking about some businesses, and things like that on our last episode of this Pride Month.
Yep.
So we will have links and resources for you guys to check out if you would like. So let's get into this.
Let's go. Do you want
Oh,
me to start or
goodness.
do you want to go?
Listen,
I'm listening.
if I start, if I start,
Yes, go for it.
okay, okay, guys. First off, I'm just gonna say this. Getting into this, do your research.
Mhm.
Okay, look into LGBTQ plus owned businesses or artists, writers, just anything like that, and give them your support.
Mhm.
There are struggling artists out there, let me tell you.
Yep.
But once they get going, you will find some of the most amazing people and just, it's wonderful. So wonderful.
Agreed. Totally agree. And they
'Cause I
really
know-
are so fucking talented. Like they don't get the
They are,
the
and they
awareness
get
deserve.
overlooked.
Yeah. They don't get the
They
recognition.
do exist, guys.
They do exist. We do exist. We're
We
not
are
fairies.
here.
I do believe in fairies. Anyways. Yeah, no, that's a really good one. And this is for all aspects of like businesses and industries. Supporting artists that like make physical art. So there are definitely good and bad sides of Etsy, but Etsy is a great way to look into LGBT artists and find things that
For sure.
you can find that you don't have to buy at a department store. Because let me tell you, rainbow capitalism is a thing, and many times
I knew we were gonna get into it.
corporations are going to try to sell you really crappy things during Pride Month that really many times are stolen by other artists, mind you, as well as they're not doing it to support LGBT members of the community. They're doing it because it makes money.
And a good way to know that they're doing this, guys, is the fact that they only do it during Pride Month.
Yep.
If you don't see it in stores all year round, they're doing it for a money
don't
grab,
do it.
basically.
Don't do it. It's not worth it. There's plenty of other artists that sell this kind of stuff, as well as many other items and products that are not even themed around the LGBT community. Like if you want like a really nice cool piece of art, there's probably a member of our community that does it. There's probably someone who's made that, and it's a beautiful thing. You definitely should check them out. But it's physical artwork, it's music, it's writing, supporting streamers and content creators that are on the platforms you enjoy watching and listening and being on. TikTok creators.
Search for certain tags too,
Yeah.
guys. Like if you're on Twitch or something like that, if you're on Twitter, whatever, if you search certain tags, you will get a list of people under those tags.
Yeah. You'll
and
find
it's the
them.
easiest way that you can find them. And support them.
Yep. Agreed. And then also along with supporting these artists and creators and content creators and makers and everything, make sure to also share posts from the voices of those within the communities. It does not have to be Pride inclusive. It does not have to be just about politics. If you see a piece of content that you really enjoy, that you know that they're a part of the community and they are very talented, share that with your communities.
Please share it with people.
Yeah, let people know
helps
about
them grow as an artist and lets people find something maybe they wouldn't have ever thought about seeing or wanting or whatever. Just being able to show out that support is so easy, so simple, and it means a lot to the artist.
Yeah.
Being able to grow their community.
Yeah, absolutely. And even, and I said that it doesn't have to be political. It doesn't have to be about diversity and like activism and stuff. But this is also another good thing. A good thing to bring up if you want to support a movement or an action or a belief that started from the voices of members of the community or members of a certain ethnicity or members of a certain minority group, share the posts of those community members. Like during Pride, during activism acts, during Black History Month, when we're celebrating Latin American months and weeks and stuff. Don't just go out, if you are outside of these communities, don't just go out and spur your own posts. Share those of content creators and activists that are part of these communities that are outwardly and actively trying to share this information with people. Because you are not muting the voices of those in the community, which happens very often. More often than I like to say, and like more than I like to see. But also you're help supporting their content and their movements and their activism and their businesses. So share with people that you believe in that are the initial voices or active voices of a certain group or a certain movement or a certain activity, because you're not, one, are you helping share their information, but two, you're supporting them at the same time. So share that information with people. And then outside of finding things for yourself and ways to actively support, donating money when you can to nonprofits, and we will go more over them in our third episode. Donate if you can.
Our third and final episode relating to our amazing Pride Month.
Yeah, donate to nonprofits. They can be big, like the Trevor Project, but there's a lot of also small nonprofits that are local to you probably, or ones that are not really talked about. Like, research them and support them, or share them during, you know how like you can on Facebook, you can say, hey, it's my birthday and I want to donate to this. You can choose communities that are part of the LGBT community that are nonprofits and support them even without donating your own money, but letting people know about them so they can be moved to help and donate to these communities. And then also, if you have the spoons to and you have the desire to, donate your time and volunteer at different community groups. If you know that you're good with teens and kids, volunteer your time for these communities. If you enjoy parties and events, volunteer activity nonprofits and groups. The groups that run activism acts and protests, donate there. Donate to the communities that make the pride parades in your area. Donate to the artist groups that have events every month or every couple months or every year. There's lots of different groups that you can volunteer your time to and be supportive of these communities within your local area, as well as these events that are annually or biannually or weekly or monthly. Like, there's ways that you can physically show up too, especially if you can't donate money. Donating your time and your support in such a physical way is also so supportive for the communities.
Yeah, even if it's just helping out at like events that are being planned.
Yep.
Like physically being there to like help set up, or just, little things like that.
Yeah.
Goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think we finished with that list.
I think that's pretty much it until our next episode.
Oh my god, we did it. Hooray.
Oh my god.
And if you guys have any other questions, I'm so proud of us. And if you guys do have any questions about how to be able to specifically do any of these things that we just listed, feel free to reach out to us, as well as reach out to members of the communities in your local area. But if you feel more comfortable asking in this community, like, feel free to message us and ask us about it. And we're more than happy.
Message. We will do our best to try and point you in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, because this is our hope, is that this information that we are sharing in a podcast form can help outwardly in the future. Like moving off from this episode, we're hoping that this information can guide someone in whatever direction they want to go to. So that's our hope. So
We will continue to grow. We will continue to educate. We will continue to exist out here, guys.
in our very authentic, weird selves. We're gonna do it.
We can't be too serious all the time, guys.
No,
we
can't.
It's not gonna happen. We can't do that.
Nope.
We will have our serious moments, and we may have serious episodes coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
But we will still try and joke around a little bit.
Yeah.
Try and keep it lighthearted when we can.
Because life isn't all that serious. It can't be.
Exactly.
If you're serious about life all the time, life is not going to be enjoyable. And you only live once, so why not make the best of it and enjoy it when you can?
Exactly.
So.
But yes, that is it for the Pride episode, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Tara will be jumping into her.
Then we were just talking about it being fun, and now we're going into a.
Okay, but we gave a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode.
We did. This is
so
the segue.
This is what I mean, guys. Is we may have some episodes that will be very lighthearted and everything, but there may be a serious topic here and there.
Yeah.
But we will be putting disclaimers, obviously, because we want you guys to have a heads up on that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let Tara take it from
but...
here. I will be muting myself, and I will let her continue to talk.
Okay.
I will be here for support.
Okay. Thanks, Boo. I appreciate you.
Of course. You know I got work in the morning, but I'm still gonna be here until the podcast ends. I'm just gonna be quiet.
We got this. It's gonna be good. And guys, we're going to do kind of like a moment of silence, and that's going to be the end of the episode. So like I said, it's not going to be anything that needs to be interactive. After this conversation and sharing, we're going to call it at that. So I do want to say, before things get heavy, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much for being open to the conversations we were having. Thank you guys for being here and supporting this podcast as we were doing it. Like we've said before, the main reason we do this is we love to yap. We love to hang out with you guys. We love to share our passions and our joys and the things that we're really, really just passionate about, both more serious as well as not as serious. So thank you guys so much for getting to be here in this community, and I appreciate you guys. Okay. So here is the time for the trigger warning. I'm going to say again, you do not have to be here for this conversation. If people jump in, whoever is in here, I mean, Brooke is going to be in here, so we'll be letting people come in, and the new people and people who are jumping in after I make this disclaimer, letting them know that this conversation is going to be happening. But we're going to talk about it. Hang on one moment. Let me grab something really quick. I just got to get this video ready. I'm also not going to lie. I'm also trying to delay this conversation because it is hard to talk about, but we're going to talk about it. Okay.
It's okay. I am here for support.
I know you are.
I got you, boo.
I know you are. I appreciate you. Okay. So we are going to take a moment and talk about a very horrific event that happened in June of 2016. If you guys do not know what happened, I'm going to give a little synopsis, little summary of what happened. the information that I am sharing is about what happened, but in no way is the story of this safe space that was made and the stories of the people that this affected. I really, truly hope that with this conversation, if you are moved to do so, look into the history as well as the story of this space. Because while a horrific incident and tragedy happened, this space was a safe space and a loving, supportive group for 15 years before this had happened. And because of this action and because of the act of one individual, this space ended. This space was closed down and this space has not come back. This is why we need safe spaces. This is why we need to talk about these things, because when an act of violence like this happens in our community, it is not the time for all of us to shut down. It is the time for us to support and speak up and share the importance of having these spaces, as well as having the ability to share the history and the importance of why we have these safe spaces to begin with. In June 12th of 2016, just before 2 a.m., a shooter opened fire at Pulse Nightclub in Orlando, Florida 9 years ago. 49 people were killed, 53 were injured. This was claimed to be one of the deadliest mass shootings in U.S. history and is one of the deadliest attacks, not the only one, but one of the deadliest attacks targeting our LGBT community. While there are others that claim through speculation, as well as statements that were made during the initial attack, there are claims that this was a terrorist attack triggered by international terrorism. They claim that this is the reason this happened, and the fact that it was this community that got impacted was just a fluke. But that is not true at all. This wasn't just an attack on a city. This was an attack on a specific community. This was an attack specifically targeting the LGBT community. A lot of people have heard of this attack. If you haven't, it is one that has been very triggering and very hard for people to listen to think back on, as well as it has activated the need to move the progression of support, care, and safety for our community even more forward in such a horrific and tragic event. But what a lot of people also don't know is that this is an event that very personally touched me. Between 2015 to 2016, I started working at a horse farm in Claremont, Florida, about 45 minutes north of Orlando. I didn't have any family near me, and I didn't have any friends. The desire for June, as it rolled around, to connect with members of my community was very, very strong and very important to me. I didn't know anyone, and I just wanted to be with my community in a space, in a situation where I just wanted to connect when I felt so lonely. That evening, Pulse was holding one of their biggest advertised events that was one of the biggest parties and pride events in the Orlando area. Those in the community would swarm to Orlando, to this club, due to its popularity and knowing of it being a safe space for those outside of Orlando as well. People would drive hours to come to this space and be a part of this community, because outside of Orlando, it's very hard to find safe spaces and communities like this. This event was Latin Night, and it was a popular weekly celebration, and it was one of the biggest parties during Pride Month. I was supposed to attend this event with a coworker. This coworker was not a good friend of mine. We weren't that close, but we were part of the community together, and she was a connection to a community that I so badly wanted to find friends in. The plan was that after she was done with the horse show, we were going to meet up together and drive together to this event. Before this event had happened, about a day before, there was the passing and the horrible loss of a singer-songwriter that I knew through YouTube when she first started, who became an international sensation. Some of you guys may know her name as Christina Grimmie. She was supposed to have a concert the evening before the Pulse event. She was murdered by a fan at the concert that I also was supposed to attend. That evening, I had been too exhausted from work and I didn't go. But it was a tragedy that I heard the morning of the day I was supposed to go to Pulse. Due to the pain of her loss, as well as my coworker not arriving back to the farm until very late, I made the decision to not go. And she made the decision to not go due to the fact that her friends who were attending were already leaving. This was around midnight. Timing-wise, I would have gotten there if I did decide to go right before the shooting occurred. It was because of this last-minute decision that I truly believe that I'm still here. The horrific details of this event I do not want to share. They are posted in other spaces, but I do not wish to share them here. But through what I know of this event, it is very possible that myself and my coworker wouldn't have survived. The morning I heard of the shooting, I attended the candlelight vigils when I could. Thousands of people with multiple vigils held everywhere occurred that month, and what was supposed to be a time of celebration and representation was crushed by a tragedy that led many to wonder where they could be safe for themselves and for their loved ones. 2 months later, due to depression as well as severe loneliness, I made the decision to leave my job last minute and go back home. I still don't know to this day what the main trigger for me leaving Florida was. But I truly believe that because of this act of violence that led to myself and so many people feeling so scared and so unsafe to be able to even celebrate Pride and to go to events like this, I felt so alone. And I just didn't want to be in that era anymore. It wasn't just that event. Everyone in this community after the shooting didn't know if their own safe spaces were safe. They didn't know if pride parades would be safe. They didn't know if showing their love for their partner and their love for their family members would have led to them being a target after this event happened. This is why we need safe spaces. This is why we need to talk about these events. This is why we need to share why hate towards this community is so dangerous. This is also why we need to stop sharing such negative views towards members of our community, because we don't know what's going to happen in the next Pride or the next party, the next LGBT safe space club event. What's going to trigger someone else to feel so adamant on acting out with such hate to just try to remove members of our community? The reason we're talking about this is to share not only the information of why this event was so horrific and so heartbreaking, but to also share the fact that we aren't going anywhere. Our community didn't just stop existing after this event happened, and in return, we pushed forward to show that we were stronger than ever, and in many ways, like the vigils claimed after this event happened, Orlando still has a pulse. Our community still has a pulse. We still are living and supporting and talking about, even through tragedy, how important it is for us to have safe spaces, safe communities, safe environments, and loving people to support members of our community that are actively being hurt and in many cases being killed. This isn't the only act of violence on our community. You can see plenty of acts, whether on larger scales like this, as well as individual attacks and murders of our community members every single fucking year. This isn't an isolated case, but this was the first case, or the most recent case, where it opened people's eyes to the literal pain and the literal fear that our community goes through just by existing. So many things could be said for how this event was running, things that could have been done to save more people, ways that we could have faster action times by the police, gun violence, gun control. We can talk about so many things that could have stopped this act of violence, but at its core, it was an act of hate. It was an act of judgment, and it was an act to remove people from existence. This is why we need to educate people. This is why we need to stand up for our rights. This is why we need to respect and be kind to one another. These people didn't do anything to the shooter, but because of hate and judgment, 49 innocent people died just by celebrating who they were. I shared this story this evening of what happened to me, not to gain attention, but to share in the heartbreak as well as the personal feelings that so many members of our community feel when they hear stories like this. And to share why talking about these things and these actions of those who hate so much, talking about why it's so important to not let events like this be silent. The anniversary of this event was just last week, and we need to keep talking about it, because no one deserves to have to go through a repeat of what happened 9 years ago. I am now going to show a video, and this is going to conclude our podcast. This video is going to share the faces and the names of the 49 people that we lost that night at Pulse. If you feel moved to do so, please look into the legacy of what Pulse was to so many people outside of this tragedy. Please learn about the lives and the individuals and their personalities that lost their life and lost their pulse that night.
Finally, tonight, we take a moment to remember the 49 people whose lives were tragically cut short Sunday morning in Orlando, Florida. Here now are their names and faces.
Thank you guys again for being a part of this episode. You guys really, we truly appreciate all of the support to make these episodes and to talk to you guys. And like just now, being vulnerable to moments like this that are hard to talk about but are important to talk about. I hope, as well as Brooke, that you have a wonderful evening, day, morning. Please be kind to one another. Please do what you can to support one another, and do what you can to not just enjoy and celebrate Pride this month, but be a better ally, a better friend, a better support system for those you know, as we go through a month of not just fun and excitement and celebration, but a time for us to continue moving forward with the progression and the activism that we need to be moving towards. We love you guys very much, and we will be back on Monday evening, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, continuing our conversation on Pride Month, and we will definitely be sharing more episodes in the future. We love you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Good night.